Hello mes rebelles intelligents! Today I'm sharing with you an interview I made with Josh Kaufman. Now, Josh Kaufman is quite famous for his book The Personal MBA, which is a worldwide bestseller. But back in the days when I met him at the end of 2010 in Scottsdale, Arizona, well, his book was not published yet. And I'm very, very happy to share that I received, he gave me this advanced, uncorrected proof, not for sales, a book, and also that I'm the recipient of the first autographed copy of it. Yeah, I'm super proud about that. And I was quite excited to meet him because even before he published his book, he was already quite famous for his blog personalmba.com, where basically he shared a list of the best business books in the world. And when I stumbled upon this list and I started to read them and to write summaries for my French blog, that's what started my new journey as an entrepreneur. And it was this blog about great business books that allowed me to become a professional blogger in the French-speaking market. And now I'm offering translation of this blog in my new blog, Books That Can Change Your Life. So without further ado, I read this interview of Josh Kaufman at the end of 2010, even before he published his first book.
So Josh, hi.
Hi, nice to be with you.
Yeah, nice to. So my first question is, there are a lot of books in the Personal MBA list.
Yes.
Yeah.
99.
99, wow. So can you tell us what, in your opinion, is the 3 or 4 best books for people that want to create their own business?
Sure. For entrepreneurs, if you've ever started a business, you know that sometimes the hardest part is not finding an idea. Ideas are everywhere. It's finding idea that actually has customers to sell that idea to.
Yeah.
That's the biggest challenge, right?
Absolutely.
So there are a couple books that I really, really love that help you do that. The first is a book called The New Business Road Test by John Mullins. And it's a systematic process of, okay, you say you have an idea that could be the next billion-dollar company. It's a list of questions that you can go through in advance. And it's very systematic. But it helps you dissect the idea into the parts that you really need to understand to figure out whether you're going to be able to actually sell that idea or not. Yeah. So New Business Road Test by John Mullins would be the first place to start. The second book is a book called 4 Steps to the Epiphany by Steve Blank.
Okay.
And the insight that Steve has about the product development process is you don't really have to focus on developing the product so much first. You actually have to develop the market around the product if you're ever going to be able to sell it. So if you focus not just on the product development, like throwing $1 million into launching your new big thing, spend that first amount of time and money actually learning about the market that you're going to be selling to. And Steve calls this customer development. So you develop your customers first, you create something for them,
wow, and
then you sell a bazillion, and you're great. And so it's really about how do you test, how do you experiment, how do you learn as much as possible during those early stages to create something really, really successful the first time instead of the 50th time.
Yeah.
The third book, which is quite popular, is a book called The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. Pretty much everybody knows. Yeah. And the thing that I love is you don't necessarily have to practice business the way that Tim Ferriss recommends. Mm-hmm. It's the approach and it's the mindset that is the most useful. And so what you're really trying to do when you're going into business, when you're trying to learn a new skill, you're trying to find those critical components that are super, super important, hone in on those, and find different ways to do the same thing, maybe a little bit different approach or in a way that gets a lot of attention. But a lot of times you do that by breaking the rules or by looking at the existing assumptions and trying something different. And so, as a book on, a great mindset of going into business, testing new things, I think it's a really great place to start.
Great. Do you have a first book?
Yes, I actually. My book, The Personal MBA, Master the Art of Business, has been written. I've spent the past 6 years researching really with business, there are only a core set of things you really, really need to know in order to succeed. And if you're going to do well, particularly if you're starting out, it makes, at least to me, it makes the most sense to learn those critical things first. And then every book you read, every seminar you go to, every person you talk to, every idea you look at, is going to make a lot more sense if you already know the important things to focus on first. It helps you spend your time and money more effectively. And so my book, the Personal MBA, is the results of all of my research, talking about the critical things every single business person needs to understand and how to look at every business that has ever existed or ever will exist and focus on the critical parts that will actually help you succeed.
Okay, so someone who wants to create their company just can read your book and have all the core concepts that can help him to build his company and have a lot of success with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, it's the book is in 3 parts, and the first part is how businesses work, how every business is structured, what every business has to do in order to succeed. The second part is people. Businesses are built by people for other people. So if you don't know how human beings work, you're at a very severe disadvantage.
Yeah.
And the last part, and this is the part that that most people skip, but it's critically important, is systems. Businesses are systems, and if you understand how systems work, how to deconstruct them, how to analyze them, how to focus on, changing the parts that will make a difference without blowing the entire system up. That's a very useful thing to know.
I totally agree with you on that point. So it was my third question about your book, so I think I'll skip it. My second question is, a lot of people, read books, but have really a hard time to take action.
Yes.
So do you have advice? What is your greatest tip to really take massive action after reading a book?
Absolutely. When you're reading a book, you should always be reading a book with a notebook. Never just have the book by itself. And as you're reading through the book, you're looking to create a list of 3 things. Yeah. I do this on an index card that I just kind of stick in the corner of the, handy as a bookmark, and then, you have a pen to write on it.
Yeah.
But you're looking for 3 things from that book that you can immediately apply to the business or project or experiment that you're running. And you circle the top one. And you do nothing else. So you have 3 ideas of how to apply it. You circle the top one, and within the day, you take the first step to actually applying that thing to your business. And
within a day.
Within a day, yes.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, you should be applying the very first thing the very most important thing that you learned from that book. And if you do that, and if you read a lot, and you do this consistently, you'll be amazed at how much reading and applying these things can change your business.
Wow, that's amazing tips. So, folks, the first day you apply the first thing of the book that you choose. Okay. So, last question. You are really famous for your personal MBA.
Thank you.
So, what do you plan for the future about it?
I have a lot of really big plans.
Yeah.
My business is teaching business and helping entrepreneurs and business owners succeed. And so, in addition to the book, I have an online course that teaches all of the fundamentals in business in an interactive format. So, we can discuss about how to actually apply these things to your business. I'm actually also in the process of teaching live seminars where you can learn all of the essentials of business in 3 days and really get you started on your path to entrepreneurship and business success.
Okay, so thanks Josh for the interview. It was great to have you.
Thank you, Olivier. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Thanks for having watched this video, mes rebelles intelligents. I hope you enjoyed it. You're also free to receive an extract from my upcoming book, The 3 Principles to Succeed in Life. So to receive it, just click on the thumbnail that appears here. Don't hesitate to see also this video in complement. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss any future video. Thank you for watching. See you soon. And meanwhile, don't forget, be intelligent, be rebel, and be part of people who read amazing book.